The purpose of this forum is to promote the idea of world peace in its true sense, in its complete sense. And we try to see the peace at the micro level, and we also see the peace at the macro level, at the level of countries, nations, and world.
So micro, you mean personal, individual?
Micro is personal, individual. Micro is the way we are behaving on a day-to-day basis. Our reaction to a particular situation is a micro level.
As individuals?
As an individual. If we get angry on a particular point, that means that's the micro level, and that shows that what is our reaction, what is our transaction to a particular event, and that is the micro level manifestation of peace.
And macro would be nation to nation.
And macro will be nation to nation, and maybe continent to continent. Maybe European Union as such, and its disposition towards other region.
Right, empires that get together with other countries and decide to be on a different side, and we have this confrontation. So you are promoting peace how here?
We are promoting peace through conducting a number of workshops. We have got workshops around the issue of the corporate worlds coming and participating. We have got NGOs, we have universities, we have got at the government level, European Parliament participating.
What do you expect Parliament to do?
The Parliament, like we are now sitting in the European Parliament, and this itself is a big achievement for us. We have got the recognition for the efforts which we are making towards bringing peace. And when we are here, when our delegates are here and we are talking about, we get to have a sense of what the legislatures have been going through, how they think about. We also had the representative from European Parliament sitting through our discussions, and that helps us to understand them well, and they understanding us what we are trying to achieve. And I think this is the first step towards building the bridge.
For them to understand that there's an alternative way of resolving conflicts other than war.
Yes.
Okay, and you expect the Parliament to legislate some kind of new rule, Department of Peace?
Yeah, what we expect now is the thinking to change. We are not expecting some new laws to be immediately passed, but we are influencing certain thinking. Like, for example, we had a very good discussion yesterday on Ministry of Peace, creation of peace ministry. Now, this is a novel initiative which World Peace Forum launched about 4 years back. Thereby, we urged the nations, the governments around the globe to consider, to institute or create a Ministry of Peace.
So the Department of Defense assumes that there's an enemy out there that you have to defend yourselves from.
Right. Now, with the Department of Defense also, now over the years, we believe that there are certain issues in the basic thinking. While it's a huge improvement than what it was earlier, but still it's not completely there. We could see now in the world, if we look at the statistics of the wars which were conducted in 2013, and I have a report on that. This has been compiled by Heidelberg Institute of Peace and Conflict Research, and this reports talk about is that there were 45 wars in 2013. Most of us in Europe and some countries, we don't realize what's going on, or there have been so many wars, but it has given account of all of them and has put down by the country and the conflict zones. And if they take into account all the violent conflicts, violent and non-violent conflicts, then there have been 415 cases of conflicts. Now,
is it different than, say, 100 years ago, or is it has it increased, or is it the same?
I think compared to 100 years ago, because we are talking about World War I in 1914, it has decreased. In World War I, there were 9 million lives were lost. This year, we have not lost that much life to not even a small percentage of that. But what we are still seeing is that in absolute number, the figures of the lives lost due to war and the violent conflicts are very high and worrisome. And if I compare to 2008, if we see what was in 2013, then there have been a rise to the extent of 15 to 20%.
Oh, really? And also the economic resources
Yeah.
and human resources that are devoted to war,
Yeah.
I guess, come into those considerations.
Yeah, there have been a big issue, psychological issue. The people who die in war, they are always being called martyrs and martyrdom to encourage the peoples who are behind to prepare the new generation to come, and to see that how those who have lost their lives, how they are being given
Heroes.
so much of honor and hero. And there is a false sense of achievement, I'd like to say so. My idea is not to sort of look down upon those who have lost their lives, or those families who have contributed or sacrificed their sons for their lives in the wars. But my idea, or our idea, is not to belittle their contribution to this, but the way governments play it up. The governments play up the death in the war as if this was the best thing a soldier or a youth could have done, sort of misguides the other youths in the country to come forward into that. Now just imagine two scenarios: a 24-year-old leaving American soil or other, and going to say Afghanistan or Iraq or some other country, and giving away his life there because some bomb has blasted. That's all. He was in a truck or something, and he loses his life. Compared to that life being lost, compared to a person, someone else, another youth going into an education and becoming a great writer, or maybe a great computer programmer, or a professional, or a businessman, or something like this, how much value he can add to the world.
To society.
Just imagine if you would have lost Steve Jobs into, say, some war, some silly war in some country. It would have been a great loss for the humanity.
Might be Slovakia, might be Liechtenstein, might be
We know that over the years, since after World War II as well, there have been conflicts raging around the world. As per the Heidelberg Institute of Peace and Conflict Research, in 2008, there were 345 recorded conflicts in the world. And when we look at 2013 data from the same institute, we see that the number of the incidences have gone up to 414. So despite the efforts being there, we see a gradual and steady increase in the conflicts. Out of 414 recorded conflicts, there were 45 wars. So, and I've got something to present here. This is a diagram which says that which are the countries which have been involved in the war. May not be very visible, but basically, as we could see, is that there have been, it can go around, and then that's what we have been doing.
May this be Laos, may this be Indonesia, may this be Australia,